Hey, what's up everybody? I just thought I'd make a quick video just talking to you about what it's like to prepare for a bodybuilding competition. Just in case there's anybody out there that's actually thinking about doing it for the first time. And I'm just going to talk to you about all the little things that I did and what I learned along my journey when I competed for the first time and what it was like, what type of things there are to expect when you're doing something like this. It's not easy. I think you already know that, but hopefully this video actually gives you a little bit of help along your journey. When I started, it was a goal of mine. I set a goal and I said, you know what, I'm going to try and compete. And the clarity that I had in my mind for my goal was I want to earn a trophy. I want to win a trophy in bodybuilding. And that clarity that I had actually drove me. It was my motivation every day. Every day I woke up and I said, I'm going to get a trophy. I'm going to get a trophy. This is my goal. And that motivated me. So whenever I hit the gym, I had that picture in my mind of me holding that trophy on the stage and celebrating the win. So I had already conditioned myself to be in the competition way before I had even entered. Once I got to the point where mentally I felt like, all right, this is it, this is what I'm gonna do. I found a competition online and I entered. I put my name down and I said, all right, I'm gonna be doing this. And the competition was, I think, 10 weeks away. And I was already going to gym, but then this put me into overdrive. This got me into this mode where I thought, all right, cool, I'm in. This is it, I'm dedicated now. I have to do this. And that just stepped up my training to the next level. So once I got into that mode and I was hitting the gym consistently every day, I had to get my diet in check. So one of the first things I did was I downloaded an app. It's called MyFitnessPal. I'm sure many of you have heard of it. If you haven't, you can check it out in the description below. It's a really good app. It helps you count your calories. And not only does it help you count your calories, but it helps you count your macros and your micros as well. So all your proteins, your essential oils, your vitamins and minerals, all that stuff gets calculated. You just type in what you've eaten or drank, or scan it. It's actually got a really cool feature where you can scan the barcode and it breaks down all the information of the food that you've put into the app. And that's what I used. Okay, so that helped me actually control my eating. Of course, I had to have a high intake of protein, a certain percentage of fats and a certain percentage of carbs. And that was a really great way for me to monitor that, because if you're just eating, if you're just eyeballing your plate, you're not really gonna know exactly how much you're getting. So my goal in the beginning was to gain some weight, and that required me to increase my calories, and the best way to do that was to obviously eat more, but I had to eat more of some good stuff, not just any old thing. I had to eat more of the good stuff. So calorie counting was the first step, and that helped push me towards preparing my meals. So I prepared my meals in advance so that whenever I was out and about, I had maybe a lunchbox full of my chicken and rice, or I don't know, sweet potatoes and fish. I had my food ready. Whenever I got hungry, I started eating. And the frequency of my eating was every 3 hours. Every 3 hours I was taking something, whether it was a protein shake, a supplement of something, or a meal. I had my food ready, so I never felt the need to go to like a McDonald's or a KFC and get something from there. I had my food with me. Another thing that you may want to look into is carb cycling. So carb cycling is when you have days of high carbs and days of low carbs. But this is something that I did when I was getting really close to competition, so a couple of weeks out. Carb cycling really made a big difference in terms of helping me get really cut, but still getting my muscle bellies looking really full and pumped up. So it's something that I think every person who is looking to compete should look into. There are those days when you have to have higher carbs because it helps your muscles look fuller. And then there are those days when you need lower carbs to help you cut out the water weight and the excess fat that's sitting under the skin. When I was in the gym, I had a workout log. So in order to build muscle, everybody knows you need to increase the workload that you're putting your muscles through. And with my workout log, I was making sure that I was increasing my weights for each exercise as often as possible. You know how people always tell you, all right, do 10 to 15 reps of a certain exercise. The reason they say that is because there are two ways to increase your workload. Either you stay at the same weight and just keep increasing the repetitions, or you stay at the same repetitions and keep increasing the weight. Now, the best way or the quickest way to build muscle is to actually just stay at the same repetitions and increase the weight. This is why they tell you that. So for me, that's what I did. I stayed at the same repetition range. So like say 10 to 15 or 15 to 20, depending on the exercise, whatever it was. And I made sure that with every exercise that I did, the next time I did it, I was doing it with a heavier weight. So I would work through my range. Like with each set, I would increase the weights. And by the end, I would be working at my heaviest weight and at my lowest repetition within my repetition range. So that's something that I think if you don't already know that, that's definitely something you need to be doing. Make sure you're increasing your strength by increasing the weights with each time you do the exercises. By having a workout log, you can actually look back and see what you did, how you did it, how much weight you did, and you'll be able to kind of tell whether you're progressing or regressing. That's something that might give you a better insight into whether or not you're actually getting enough nutrition from your food intake, because your food intake can actually affect your energy levels when you go to the gym. That can be fixed with the right supplementation, but also the right main foods, like the right meals that you eat and the amount of sleep and rest that you're actually getting. Another thing that I focused on was stretching. I think this is very underrated. Stretching really does help you build bigger muscles. So when you do stretch, obviously it makes you feel more relaxed and your muscles feel looser, but it helps you also with your flexibility. So the range of motion that you can put your limbs through. So the greater the range of motion, the better the activation of the muscles. Say for example, if you're doing a bicep curl and you're only doing it from there to there, you're not really getting a full range of motion and you're not going to be activating as much muscle as possible. But if you're doing a full stretch and then a full contraction, you're going to get a better result by exercising more of that muscle. So this is something that stretching helps with. It helps you improve your range of motion. It also allows your muscles to stretch out so that they can grow bigger. So definitely do not skimp on the stretching. It's one of the most important parts. Another part of my routine was actually posing. Now, this is something that you won't get every gym goer doing. And I think that they're missing out because of this. Posing is probably one of the greatest weapons you have in terms of building and shaping an amazing physique. Posing trains your body to look a certain way. When you pose, you're training your body to use the muscles you require to actually look good on stage, because that's what bodybuilding is. It's about looking good. Sure, you get stronger, you look better, and you're more athletic, but the whole point of bodybuilding is just to look good on stage. And posing is the best thing you can do to actually shape those muscles to look good on stage. Leading up to the competition, I would spend, about half an hour every day after my routine, just going through my poses, the mandatory poses. Just doing those things will give you an extra level of sharpness to the muscles, an extra level of clarity. And when you go into the gym, by remembering the poses that you have to do, it actually allows you to be more creative with your exercises. So there were a lot of exercises that I did that mimicked the poses I was going to be doing on stage. Yeah, like say certain exercises, like with the cables. When you do your front double bis, you're doing a big wide spread and you're flexing like this. So I would get the cables and I would literally pull the cables and do the flex like I would do the pose in the exercise. And that was an exercise. And that trained me to actually build bigger arms and have a better double bicep pose. So that's definitely something that you should be doing. After doing all this, I got competition ready. I was good to go. I was ready to go on stage. So I had picked out my posing trunks. I had picked out the right tan for my body. You don't want to go too dark and you don't want to go too light. You know, you got to be somewhere in the middle, because when you're on stage, there will be a lot of lights shining on you, and you don't want your body, well, your tan to be washed out. And literally, when it is washed out, you don't get to see all the great lines and all that work and dedication you've put into your training. And when I went to the competition, some places might have weights over there for you to actually do your pump up backstage. But I didn't want to risk it. I didn't know if they did or didn't have anything, and they didn't when I got there. So luckily I had taken with me my exercise bands, and the exercise bands are a great way to actually get a pump before you get on stage and do your routine. So if you're getting close to your competition and you don't have workout bands, I'll put a link in the description as well. They were great, like they were a lifesaver, and they actually got me to get my muscles pumped up and show the best of what I had on the day. Another part of the whole journey was literally the mental dedication. A lot of people don't understand how much of a mental sport bodybuilding is. They think it's all physical, but it's not. I would say 50% of it is up here. And the reason I say that is because there's so many times when you will wake up in the morning and think, I don't want to do this today. I've had enough of this. But it's up to you to fight that in your brain that's telling you no, and tell it to and say, you know what, I'm going to be doing this. This is my goal and I'm going to get it done. Not only that, but there's also times when friends and family are all going to invite you out to go drinking and do this and that. I went out with friends and family, and I did spend time with them, because you don't want to miss out on those relationship building events that you have in life. But I didn't drink. Like for the whole 10 weeks that I prepared for competition, I did not touch a single drop of alcohol. And that would be, for me, that was a tough task, but I did it. So yeah, you need to have that mental fortitude to say, all right, I'm actually setting a goal. It's only for the next so many weeks. And once I get it done, then I can celebrate and do all the things that I've been holding back on. So those were the main points. Those are the main things to look out for. And if you are thinking about competing, drop a comment in the section below and let me know if you have any questions. I'll try and answer them all. And it'd be great to find out more about what you're actually doing, whether it's your first time or second or third time. If you've done this before, actually, what other great points do you have? Like, what would you tell somebody who's going to compete for the first time? Put it down in the comment section below. Let's have a debate about it. Maybe we'll feature it in the next video. Yeah, one thing about bodybuilding, it is a great sport, and it is one of those sports that there's so many tips and tricks out there. Everybody's got their own style, and I'm hoping that you get to find your own style. I found mine. I'm actually planning to get back into that stage ready shape. So I'm gonna be going through a transformation myself. Hopefully I can document that and put that on video for you guys to see all the things that I'm learning now, all the new things that I've picked up, and I'm gonna share them with you. So make sure you crush that subscribe button so you don't miss out on those upcoming videos, and hit that like button to let me know if you enjoyed this video. Until next time, stay hard.